Today I'm joined by Frank Pomeroy. Frank is on the Levee Park redesign committee and serves as the chair on that committee. And thanks for taking some time, Frank, to talk to us.
You're very welcome.
This is a big project, it's created a lot of buzz around town. First, I know there's an open house event coming up that we really want to focus on, but sure. Let's talk really quickly about the project itself and the scope of it. I think some of those drawings came out, people saw that and they're like, oh my goodness, this is never going to happen. It's too big. And people just got overwhelmed. But it's just a vision.
It's just a vision. And I think to go back, we've been at work for about a year now. We've got about 16 people from the community on our committee, all of them very qualified individuals that have Winona as the top of what they want to do. I mean, they want the park to be developed for Winonans, and I think that's important. That's a good character to have on the committee. Going back, we made some decisions fairly early when we were approached by the University of Minnesota School of Design to bring them on because they had a lot of background. They've been responsible for working on over 60 different projects, many of them waterfront projects, and they came with a lot of background, and for $15,000, we thought that was a great price for somebody with that kind of a background. So we brought them in. They made many visits to Winona. They came to Live at the Levee event. They came for Earth Day, talked to a lot of citizens, actually went out on the river, took a lot of time in Levee Park. And to really understand what they've come up with, you have to take a look at the entire design plan that they came up with, which is almost 100 pages. Every vision that they talk about in the park and every concept, they also have a lot of written material along with that, talking about why they wanted to do that in particular or recommend that in particular. So you really need to take a look at the whole package to understand where they're coming from. We had a lot of people come to us at all the events that we were at saying, you can never do anything with the wall there. We had a lot of people come up to us and say, you can never do anything with the railroad tracks there. We had people say, that fence is a barrier, you can't do anything with the fence there. Well, you can do something with all of those things there, and it can be a really pretty park, and a real beautiful park, and a park that can be used by a lot of people for a lot of different things. And one of the reasons I asked to be on the committee, and I actually approached Mayor Peterson and asked for this opportunity, is because I grew up in Levee Park. I fished there, I spent a lot of days there when I was a child, and ever since the contentious Wilkie is out of the picture, there's been nothing really at Levee Park that we can be proud of. I wanted to come onto that committee as a former government leader, in my opinion, to be able to say, okay, let's take a look at this park and let's try to find a way to phase in certain things in the park over time that can make the park usable. And we've turned our back on the river, I think, for a lot of years. And as a design team would say, we'd like the river to be our front porch instead of something that we don't even spend time with. You can go all the way from Père Duchesne to Hastings and look at the different riverfronts along that way and see that people really do utilize the area. So we've got to find a way to do that. And I think right now, Dave, with the new interstate bridge coming in and with the quality committee that's working with them, and we have a couple of our members, Mike Kennedy and Chad Ubel and Natalie Sedaris and a few others that are a part of that committee, they're looking at doing wonderful things. You've got a 12-foot wide bicycle pedestrian path. You've got two 15 by 50 outposts or outlooks on the bridge. You now have the bridge that's going to connect across the Wagon Bridge to the Great Wisconsin Bicycle Trails and along Riverview Drive to the Minnesota Trails. You've got great landscaping and pathways and flowering and rain retention areas under the bridge that are going to be absolutely beautiful. You can't have it end right there. You simply can't. And with that being done probably in 2017, we have between now and 2017 a great opportunity to let that area expand into Levee Park. I can envision a lot of your walks, like your cancer walks and your Alzheimer's walks and the rest, leaving Levee Park, going over the bridge, spending some time on the outlook, watching a working river, going across over to Latch Island and coming back, and let the people have something different than what you have right now down at the lake. We have in Winona, we've talked to Great River Shakespeare, we've talked to Midwest Music, we've talked to Frozen River, we've talked to all those people who would love to expand what they presently do in Winona, but they need an area and they need the opportunity. They would love to go down to Levee Park. And we'd love to make that available to them. I've told people on the committee as recently as the last couple of meetings that we might want to start slow, and because you have Live at the Levee already down there, it would be a great opportunity to do some fundraisers and try to support some type of a pavilion structure where the Wilkie used to be, because that is described in the design plan as an entertainment area, so that they can continue their events without having to rent tents and all these other kinds of things. And you could also then utilize some of the other entertainment things that we have going on in Winona, and you could give it to Park Rec as part of a programming for people who want to have a wedding reception or other kinds of things down there, and to take some of the stress off of Lake Park. So that would be, in my opinion, that would be a great initial step. And then you've accomplished something, and then you can move on from there.
Now, these visions are going to be available for the public to look at on Monday night, March 31st.
Yep.
And that is going to be at the History Center, correct?
Correct.
And tell us a little bit about that setup, because that's kind of an interesting walk through the park as well.
It is. We're going to have two sessions. The sessions will be at 5 o'clock and 7 o'clock. Chad will be administering that, and it'll be upstairs. And you'll have the live screen, which will talk about some of the opportunities and constraints of Levee Park. It'll also talk about the format that they laid out as far as their visions and some of the background related to that. And then we felt the best way to work with the groups that come in, and hopefully you have large groups, is to set up some tables with some big drawings and big displays downstairs. We'll have tables that take a look at the vision plan. We'll have tables that look at potential funding. We'll have tables where people can talk to people who are on the committee and render their opinions, whether good or whether bad, we don't care, as long as they have opinions. And what we would really like is for people to go to the city's webpage and take a look. You can click on the homepage on Vision for Levee Park. It'll give you the entire 100-page document along with all of the background information. We'd like people to take their time, go review that, take a look at it, come prepared to render opinions about whether they think some of that, all of that, or part of that is something that they could support, and then share those opinions with us. We are not going to have an actual question and answer session because we're not going to have the time. We think we can accomplish more by having people talk directly to committee members who have been through the process and to render opinions to them that they can then share with the rest of the group.
All right, very good. So we hope and encourage everyone to attend that meeting coming up Monday.
Absolutely.
All right, Frank, thanks for making time
You
to
bet.
talk to us today.
Yep, thank you.